I just wanted to get a few things out of here. First, are we familiar with what's going on with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith these days?
Do you guys see this?
Being separated?
Because everybody and their mother is going to ask me about this over the course of the next 4 days. So I figured we should get to it right now.
I think Jada is savage.
Yeah?
Like, that's kind of mean. I think, like, if he's keeping it a secret for 7 years that they're separated, like, why not out it together if you guys are both keeping it?
So the issue is, do you guys, you know what this is analogous?
Oh, I know
analogous
everything.
to? No,
Unfortunately,
you know what this is analogous to?
about.
Tiger blood. Do you remember Charlie Sheen being like, I got tiger
Yes.
blood? When in reality,
Yes.
what was the
Yes.
problem?
Yes.
Charlie Sheen had unprotected sex with a porn star and caught HIV.
Right.
And he started saying he had tiger blood. He knew he had HIV when he was saying that stuff. So just so we're clear, Jada Pinkett Smith was fully aware that she was separated from her husband when she went and her husband slapped that motherfucker in the face.
Right.
Chris Rock. She knew the whole thing, all that drama, going back to the red table. And they're still together, living in the same house while they're separated. Now I don't know about you, but if I was Will Smith, I think I could find another girl. I'm just guessing.
Something like that.
I'm just guessing.
The problem with Will Smith is he's so like debilitatingly like blue pill that he will never give that. Like he's so invested in the.
I think she's
the
got like
relationship.
some Rihanna pussy. Like what I'm saying is, I think she's
Well,
got
like magic.
Like I'm saying, she's pulled like the baddest motherfuckers in
That's
history. Like I think
Tupac
she's
ruined
with
her.
Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac ruined her.
Yeah, so she has like a status. I don't think it's like nice to Will, but she must have some magic pussy to keep them okay with stuff. That's the only thing. Or men just love like toxic women.
Well, Will probably likes toxic women. Let's clear the air. The other thing is, and then he was also with like August Alsina, or she was with August Alsina too.
Yeah, no, I think she gets like some top of the line. Like I think she's got game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's got guys whipped a little bit.
I don't think he's trying to pay her half of his fortune.
Yeah.
I don't think he's trying to pay her half of his fortune.
I think they've always had an open thing. I think she's always requested an open thing from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I think she said stuff about like never getting over Tupac when he passed. So I think they've always had an open thing. So like
she writes letters to Tupac after he's dead.
Yeah. So like
yes.
if they have an open thing and he's allowed to do whatever they want and they have children together and a family, like, and they just don't want to make it messy or like divorce, you know. I do think like if you're going to keep it private for your family or the name, like maybe out it together, the secret.
Right. Especially with somebody who is as, you know, a celebrity like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like when celebrities definitely like end a marriage and they have kids together, it should be like a joint.
Well, let's go down the list of all the stuff because I have been dealing with this bullshit since August of 2020 when the first thing came out when she was saying, "Oh, we had an entanglement." You know, it was like it's all about healing, it's all about love and everything else, and that was right after the August Alsina Red Table Talk, which by the way is her show, I believe. Yeah, it's her show.
Bringing them to the Red Table.
And so the Red Table is I guess it's her catharsis, anyways. And this was way back in August of 2020. Now I did probably one of my most viewed, like over, I think it's at least in the 2 million range right now. But I did one of my best shows on just doing the breakdown of what was going on there. And let me tell you, since August of 2020, I've ate more shit for that show and everything else. And like now it's like sweet vindication, man. It's like the line to apologize to me forms right outside the door here because like everything that I said in that is 100% accurate as of today. But then there's the Chris Rock thing when Will Smith smacks Chris Rock. Now maybe somebody at this table knows this, but did Chris Rock want to date Jada at some point?
No.
Was that actually a thing? Because I'm looking at on YouTube and people are doing shows about that.
No, that's not what happened. What Jada, like, listen, back in the day, it was Vivica Fox, Jada Pinkett, and Halle Berry. Like, those were the three baddest chicks in Hollywood. Everybody wanted to be in a movie with them, but this is like late 90s. Well, Halle Berry's a little bit later, but like that was the thing. And so basically, like getting one of those, it was just like a girl trying to get the Brad Pitt or the George Clooney or the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, like that tier. That's what it was. And Will was big, and so he had a big crush on her. It was very similar to like, you know, I think Kanye had a crush on Kim Kardashian long before they got together.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
He was like trying to, like, he saw her at a Grammys or something.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm going to marry that girl. Well, she was with another guy.
Yeah. So just imagine, like, all of a sudden you're at fame level 0, and then you're at the top peak of fame, and you can pick anyone you want. You go after your dream girl, and so that's what Kanye did. This is probably a similar situation where Will Smith probably watched the same 90s movies, you know, Above the Rim with like all that same shit that we all watched when we were growing up back in the, you know what I'm saying, those movies, and she she was the baddest chick. She was one of the hottest girls. So he watches that. Now the thing that happens, over time is like he marries an alpha woman and is probably surrounded. Yeah. He's surrounded by people in Hollywood who tell him this is what you got to do to get along. There's another thing, and I've seen this to be absolutely true. One of the things they do, especially to African American actors, is they dress them up in drag. They try to make them look as fucking safe as possible.
True.
They do whatever they can to neuter them sexually or neuter them from a masculinity standpoint, and they're told to do that. So that's what you're going to see: The Rock in drag. You're going to see fucking Will Smith in drag. Like all these guys, you're going to see them dress up like women.
Masculinity when it looks like feminine.
Bro, it's going to be the Tyler Perry. Somebody's in drag, and then we're going to put Eddie Murphy in drag. You guys notice this? It is African American male actors they're trying to put in drag. Not Denzel Washington. He said fuck that shit, and that's why he does his own. That's why he's doing The Equalizer, and he's not doing bullshit movies with fucking Tyler Perry, is because he doesn't do that shit. And so that's what essentially what happened. So he played the game. And so that's what happens. You get a bullshit movie and then you get I Am Legend. That's how it works. That's how the trade-off works. You do a bullshit movie and then you do Men in Black. That's how the trade-off works. And so the thing is with him is like he just thought this was the way it was supposed to be. And his woman is just like taking over. And he figures everybody in Hollywood's having to deal with this. And probably they are. Probably they are. And had he come forth and had some sort of like masculine relationship with his wife, then he's gonna end up looking like Johnny Depp. Oh my God. Like, and that's the problem. What?
I think though, like if I was Will Smith in this situation, I would kind of benefit off of it. Like, you can't tell me there are tons of bad bitches right now sliding in his DMs
that wouldn't get with him. Yeah.
Being like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that to you. And he's like, I know, right? Like, I just need to be comforted. Like, can you come over and suck my dick? And hold me. Like, yeah. Like, no, like, they both end up looking cool in this scenario a little bit. Like, she looks like a bad bitch that's savage, that doesn't give a fuck, and gets whatever dudes. I think they only came out about the entanglement because
I don't think
homie broke an NDA and he wanted to talk about it because, again, her pussy's probably bomb and he wanted to talk about it.
I don't think she ever got over Tupac. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So this is what I was going to say is that there's so many layers.
I think
cuckold for
I think
saying
I think she would have gotten over Tupac had she been dating a man. I think she would have gotten over Tupac just fine, but she wasn't dating a man.
But see,
she was dating
he's the guy that
he
was dating the benchmark for her, though.
Will Smith, no, she was dating the effigy of a man. Like this was not a man who would lead her ever. Tupac would. Tupac would do things with her that Will Smith wouldn't. She would have gotten over this had she been dating a man, and she was not, and that's it. And I would say this to Will Smith to his fucking face because I love him as an actor.
Yeah,
and it's sad.
To win.
It is
That's
sad what he has done here to himself. And let me say one other thing. I'm going to bring it up again because I keep doing it and people get angry when I say this. When a woman does this to a man, it is more embarrassing than the other way around.
Sure.
It is always more embarrassing.
Yep.
When a woman gets cheated on, it's terrible, but she just slides to the left. Her options are 100,000 times more than him, and on average. When the man gets cheated on, I fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip-flops, and you're humiliated. Oh, that's why I fucked your bitch. That's what Tupac said about Biggie. Do you remember this? This is the main thing. When men go after men, the main thing they do is say, your woman saw you as inferior and cheated on you with me because I'm a better man. This is how men embarrass each other. This is what I'm saying. This is so much, from a PR perspective, this is so much worse. Not that Jada Pinkett had a career to begin with. This is so much worse for Will Smith than it is for Jada Pinkett.
Here's the thing too that people don't talk about, and it's not out there. It's just because, again, this person wasn't open about it. But I'm pretty sure, because like I said, they had like an open thing. Jada was mad, I'm pretty sure, during the filming of that Con Man movie, that it was rumored that he hooked up with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that's right.
If you see those pictures, it looked like he hooked up with Margot Robbie. And so if I was a dude, for example, and I do have kids and a family, I have like an open thing, I'm fucking Margot Robbie. When some guy is saying Gucci flip-flops, and if you're super secure in yourself, you're like, yeah, I'm Will Smith, I can recover from it. People are still gonna fuck with me, and they do. They still like when he slapped Chris Rock, people were like, yeah, Will Smith.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I'm sure like the slapping thing, even if they're separated, like I understand the slapping thing from like, this is your mother of your child. No matter what, if you're not in a romantic relationship, like you still feel family, like it's a family member, and like that's like the right way to do it.
Yeah, I think we're misinterpreting though what he said, that she was, she looked like G.I. Jane, like that was I don't think that was slappable offense.
I know, I don't think he should have gotten as sensitive about it, especially when coming from Chris Rock. because he's a comedian. You know, he's gonna make jokes.
But he didn't write those jokes for that. That's the thing. It's like it was script writers for the Academy Awards. I
want to ask a question, Dave. You know what the first thing I saw when I saw that? I said, that dude has too much estrogen. Immediately, my first thought was like, this guy is not
sensitive.
First thought when I saw that, my first thought was, this man looks incredible for 50. Nah. This man is probably on fucking like HGH or fucking test, and he's not taking a fucking estrogen blocker. And because he read some Reddit post saying don't take an estrogen blocker, and he became super sensitive, big old puffy nipples, fucking sad, like estrogen like a female.
All my men, if somebody talks shit about me or puts their name in their mouth, like in my mouth, I expect them to stand up for me too.
No, for sure, but that's not what he did.
On an Oscar stage, if somebody tries to clown me and my looks, you go up there.
Yeah, but the problem is his voice is cracking while he does
you
it.
and him
He's not saying keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. He goes, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. The dude, I just heard esterol. I heard esterol when I heard that shit.
Estrogen drives everything. It's your brain function, everything else. It's amazing what it can and can't. It's amazing what it can and can't do in men. I've seen grown men bigger than me, 300 pounds with high estrogen and sobbing like babies, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. It felt to me like somebody gave him bad TRT advice. That was immediately when I saw that shit. I'm not kidding.
Well, if you want your testosterone pumping, come to me. Call me. Yeah. I think you're a man.
So it's good.
Oh, you're trying to get at Will. You're trying to get at Will.
No, I'm saying, and again,
because Will Smith watches this show. He obviously watches this show.
He will after this one.
I feel sympathy. I think Jada's cold. Like, sorry, Jada. But I would never out my business in multiple ways to embarrass my man. Even if he wasn't my man, if he's the father of my children, I'm not gonna out him like that. Like, again, if we're gonna talk about being separated, we're gonna do it together. Like, especially if we're close and like he cares enough to slap people on Oscar stages for me, I'm gonna consider his look.
I don't think at any point it was ever open on his side. Openly, I think it was completely.
I think he thought so.
I think he thought it wasn't closed on his side.
Margot Robbie, y'all.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he cheated.
Lucky man.
What I'm saying is he may have cheated.
So.
I don't think there was ever a point where they both determined it being open. Number one, I don't think that ever happened. And number two, what was the other thing you said about?
I know that the open thing was her thing, like from the beginning.
Yeah,
like you get with somebody from the jump, and they say that. Like,
that's the whole thing that fucked it all.
I know a couple right now, and like she's just said, "Hey, I want us to be open, or we're not going to keep going," and he just agreed to it. Like he just had his arm twisted. I think that's what happened. I don't think at any point did Will Smith say, "You know what? I really like is young dude fucking my wife." I just don't think that ever happened.
Do you really love somebody though? Is that like genuine love if you're willing to share them and open like that, or is that somebody you're just like?
I think it's love if you're willing to share because the two of you want to share. I think it's not love if it's a situation where like you have lost respect for your man's penis, so you don't give a fuck if he fucks other people because you want to go fuck August. That's different.
I think it all depends too on like how it starts. Like I think if you talk about being open when you're already into something, I think that's kind of wrong. I think when you go into it, like for example, like I've dated a guy before and he's like, I really, like to get BJs from other girls sometimes or whatever. And because it was like on the second date, I was like,
from the very beginning.
I was like, like,
thank you for your honesty.
I was like, I be in the studio recording, like my throat is important and like you're kind of like wide. I'm like, you go ahead. I was like, you can let him suck it. It's fine. And I be busy too. I work so much. I'm like, yeah, like give me some free time.
I mean, he could be a cuckold.
That's my next thing. Is
like
I was
a
going to say,
like
he's
he
very
likes
much
watching
like a cuck.
like other guys do his
I
girl.
think he's super secure.
Yeah, but okay,
I
so
had a guy like that. He was a cuckold.
So that came up, by the way, when I did that. When
it.
I did the original, the video, that actually came up. Like, do you think maybe he just gets off on that stuff? Because if you go back and you look at the 2020 interview when he was on the Red Table Talk with her, he was just like this close to like breaking, like really, like you could see the tears almost like welling up in his eyes during that
He's
interview.
an actor.
When I was coming, he is a good actor, but does he have any reason to act at that point?
It all looks good. I'm telling you,
right,
it gets more pussy. Sympathy gets more pussy.
Yeah, but Will Smith doesn't need to like turn up the get pussy meter. He's Will Smith. Like he's top 10 all time.
It never hurts.
Yeah, but there's like no club we could go to right now or music festival where Will Smith isn't pulling 95% of the women.
It's exactly why I think he's not a cuckold. I just think he's very secure. Like in his day too, he was like the baddest of the bad. You know what I mean?
But he could still
cool.
be that today if his wife hadn't
like,
cucked him like this.
And like I said, like if I'm letting a dude go get BJ's, I'm not doing it because I'm a cuckold and I want that. I'm doing it because I'm just so fucking secure. Like I'm like whatever.
I think.
And you respect the transparency.
I respect the honesty, and like it really just doesn't fucking bother me because you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I'm like, I got Will I Am movies to make or whatever. You know what I mean? Or I Am Legend. You know, I got stuff to do. Like, go ahead. Like, that's
you
just
go
secure.
get yours. I'm gonna go get mine.
Somehow, I Am Robot and I Am Legend
No, exactly.
turned into Will I Am.
I
Robot and yes.
All right, let me ask you this: who has higher status, Will Smith or August Alsina?
I mean,
Will
it's obviously
Smith.
Will Smith. It's not even close.
Oh, really?
I
So
don't
you're
even
saying
know
that a
why.
high-value woman
that.
cheated technically on a high-value guy, the high-status guy like Will Smith?
I don't.
No. Hold on.
August, you know where I'm going with this, right? You know
Hold
where
on.
I'm
Let's
going.
time out. If August Alsina was MVP of the NFL, he's still 60% of the way to Will Smith. We just remember when he punched the fucking alien in the face. And like, how you like that, motherfucker? Like that, Will Smith.
Is that a step back, though, is what I'm saying?
I think, like I said, I don't think they cheated. I think it was an open thing. I think August, because he is below, wanted to talk. You know, it's like the same thing of the girls when the guys cheat and they're like, yeah, I had your man. And it's like, because they want to
Holy
feel
bullshit
like on
in here.
your
He was
level.
23 years old when they were fucking. How old was he? Like, he was in his mid-20s.
He was so
right?
young, and he wanted status, so he wanted to talk. He probably got, like, attached.
Yeah, but she wanted some younger dick, is what she wanted.
For sure. I think she did that, like I said. But I think from the beginning, she's always been saying, I'm going to go do what I want to do.
Makes me wonder what else she's doing, too. Because
She's probably
this is
doing a
just
lot.
now. Well, she wrote a book. That's right.
I think she's doing a lot.
Yeah.
I think we're about to hear about it, too, with her talking about the separation.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, I think that at some point, I don't care how high status that guy is. Like, it could be Will Smith status. If he's not laying down the good D, if he's not like being a man, if he's not the guy if he's not that guy who just gets it, she's going to go look for some outside of it for somebody who does get it.
But
You'll
be a loyal
at that,
dog,
it was
but if you don't pet me, I'm gonna go get pet.
That's
somewhere
right.
else.
You got to pet me to keep me on the porch.
I think the get
Which
it.
again, like I said, he could be secure, and he's just like busy, and so he just lets her.
Yeah, I disagree. I think if he puts his foot down, she's more attracted to him, and none of this happens. I think if he had set boundaries originally in the relationship and also been like, hey, if you want to do this, that's fine. We are going to terminate this relationship. Had he done that, she would either gotten in line or he would save face, and he'd be much happier not married to the succubus. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, no, I agree. Will, you should definitely just get out of that and come over here.
I know, Will. You almost make as much money as Amanda Nicole.
I am so submissive. You could be the man.
Look at her. She's like, that's the pitch. That's the pitch.
man,
I love the pitch.
I won't out you like that.
You can pull my hair.
I'm so private. I don't want to out none of our business.
None of our business.
I don't want to mess with the fans.
So that.